Channel. So in today's video is going to be a highlighting and contouring video. Yay! I'm so excited to do this video just because I don't have one on my channel, and I know it's like a ton of different people doing highlighting and contouring videos, but I wanted to do my own. So yeah. So some of the products that I used in today's video, I'm just gonna go over them briefly and just talk to you guys about some of the products that I'm loving. So I use my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation, and I love this foundation. It just goes on so beautifully. It takes very, very pretty pictures, and it feels like I have nothing on my skin. My highlight I used was my LA Girl Pro Concealer. To set my highlight, I used my Benign Banana Powder, and I want to talk about the term baking, cooking, all of that, all of the terms that we use to set our makeup. So basically what it is designed to do is to set the makeup underneath your eye or wherever you put your setting powder. It's going to help keep it in place. It's going to give you like a really nice soft finish when you sweep it off. It's also like the longer you let it bake or sit on your face or cook on your face, it's also going to help to prevent shininess and oiliness on the face. So for me, I love doing this method just because I do get really oily, but since I have started doing this, I don't get that oily or that shiny. And then my beauty blenders that I use two different ones. I use my original beauty blender, the micro mini one, for my nose, and then I use my Real Techniques beauty blender. I had my pink one, but I just can't find where it's at. I lost it. So I love using those. And then for my cream contour, now I love my Anastasia contour kit. I always use this. I just feel like the product blends out really nice, and it's a really nice product, and it has really good color correcting shades in here as well. And I mainly use this color here, as you guys can see, is like almost hit pan. And then my bronzer that I used was from Bobbi Brown. It is the bronzing powder in Deep 4, so it looks like this. And I just like to use that one because it brings some really pretty color into my face. And highlight and contouring pro palette, I use my NYX palette, and I love this palette just because well, I typically use like this shade here just because it's a really pretty shade to really cut my contour and really give it a little bit more definition. And I usually use this color when I want something really subtle, just something really natural, or something I just want to throw on just to put a little color into my face. And then my highlight, I love this. This is my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Perfect Topping. I love to use this just because it gives me, like, look at that glow. Alright, so it gives me like a really cute glow. And then my setting spray was my LA Girl Pro setting spray. So for my foundation, I use my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and I use this for the foundation, and I also use this to blend out my contour, to just buff it out and everything. I use this brush here, I forgot the name of it, and I just use this to kind of sweep and dust away my highlight. And then to set my highlight, I use this brush, and it's basically a pointed foundation brush. So I use this one, and then to kind of dust everything on, put on my bronzer, just make sure everything is nice and blended. At the end, I use this brush. It's just a blush brush from Real Techniques, but I like it because it's really nice and fluffy, and it spreads out really nice. And I also use my Naked 3 brush, but I just use this side of it to blend out like my nose contour and everything. My brush is from Sephora. I use my number 79. It is the Pro Contour Brush. And I love this brush because, like I said, when I want a nice cut in my contour, I like to use this shade. But I love to use this brush because it gets really nice up into my cheek area and like the forehead and everything. And then to place my contour, my cream contour, I like to use my number 80 brush. This is the Pro Contour Highlight Brush from Sephora. And I just like this because it's nice. You can get really nice defined lines and everything. And you can also use like a beauty blender to apply your cream and to set your concealer with the powder underneath. So yes guys, that's all the products that I used in this video, and if you love this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. Okay, so I went ahead and already done my brows and my eyes, so next I'm going to put on my primer, and I already moisturized my skin and everything, and I'm going to use my Baby Skin Maybelline Pore Eraser Primer. So you always want to make sure that you use some type of base for your skin so your makeup can stay on all day. And I am a firm believer in primers just because I feel like they stay on. They help your foundation stay on all day. So always apply a primer. So when you contour and highlight, you want to make sure that your complexion is nice and even. So to do that, you can use a BB cream, you can use a tinted moisturizer or foundation. I usually just do a foundation, and my foundation that I'm going to use is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. What you want to do is highlight. So to highlight, I'm going to use my LA Girl Pro Concealer, and I'm using the color Medium Beige. So when you highlight, you basically want to highlight where the light or the sun will naturally hit on your face. So for most people, it's their forehead, underneath their eyes, their nose, Cupid's bow, and their chin. And sometimes you can also highlight like the side, like right underneath your contour color, and basically that'll help your cheekbones to pop out. So I'm just going to go through and highlight underneath my eyes. So I'm just going to do like a little triangle, and some people do like lines and everything, and you don't have to do like those crazy lines and all the other stuff that people be doing like on Instagram and stuff like that, just because I feel like it always come out looking the same. So you don't necessarily have to do all of that. So I'm just going to do a triangle underneath my eye. And a good way to kind of determine where to draw your triangle or how far to fill your triangle in, do like a dot, like where your eyes stop, do a dot there, where your eyes start, do a dot there, and then one kind of like in the middle of the dots. And then you're going to do the same thing on top. I'm going to use my Anastasia cream contour kit, and this is in the color Deep. So it looks like this, and it has really good like corrector shades too. If you need like a corrector and a contour, I would definitely recommend this palette. So for me, I'm going to use this first color here and mix a little bit with the second color, and I'm going to contour my forehead area. And I always say blend out your contour. Make sure you always blend it into your hairline so it'll look really natural. For my nose contour, I like to keep my nose pretty natural looking, so I just do a little bit. Whatever's left on my brush, I don't go back and add more. I just take whatever's left, and I started from like my brow, or almost where my crease is at in my eye, to make it look more like a natural contour. Just kind of lightly blend it back into my crease, and then take it down the side of my nose. Basically where your placement would be at. Next, what you will do is take a beauty blender. Make sure it's damp because it works best when it's so always make sure your beauty blender or whatever you're using, any type of sponge or whatever, make sure it's always damp. And I do have my micro mini. I don't know where my original beauty blender is at, but I just picked this one up. This is the Real Techniques beauty blender, and it works just as well. And I'm just gonna go ahead and blend out my contour and my highlight. And I'm just gonna use my beauty blender to blend out my highlight, and then I'm gonna use my foundation brush to blend out my contour. When I blend it out, I kind of like to take my highlight all the way back so my face can kind of be like really like lifted. So when you take your highlight back a little bit further, it's going to make your face look really lifted and high. So another tip too, whenever you're blending out your contour, always you can either do it in circular motions when you're blending out a cream, do it in like circular motions, or do it in the direction that your contour is going. So since mine is going like down here, I'm just going to blend it down but also push it back into my hairline. And then since it's going to be like up in this area, I'm going to kind of push it down this way but also push it back. You want to blend out your nose, so I'm just going to use this brush. Actually came from my Naked 3 palette, and I'm just going to use the fatter side of it and just blend out my nose. So again, just going in that same direction, making sure I'm pushing it back into my crease, and then just blending down, and also kind of taking it down the side of my nose. Since I'm done blending out my contour and highlight, I'm going to set my makeup, bake it, cook it, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to go in with my Ben Nye banana powder. And you can use a brush to do so. I'll show you. You can use like a brush like this. It's usually what I use. It's just a flat foundation, a flat point and foundation brush from Real Techniques. Or you can use your beauty blender and just kind of take some and just sit it on your face. I'm just going to explain to you guys a little bit of where I put it and why I put it there. So of course you always want to put your powder wherever you put your concealer, because if you don't put powder to set your concealer, it's just going to smudge, it's going to crease, and it's not going to last throughout the day. So I put it underneath my eyes, my nose, my forehead, cupid's bow, chin, oh crap, I forgot, my chin and my cupid's bow. And then I also put it here, so I really want my cheek area to kind of be really defined and nice, and my cheeks to be more lifted. I also put it here just because if you have like smile lines or anything like that, that way they doesn't like crease or anything. And then I put it like underneath my nose because I tend to get oily in my T-zone, so I feel like when I put it like on my nose and like around it, I don't get super shiny throughout the day. So while that is setting up, I'm just gonna snap. So since I'm done baking, I'm just gonna use my, I don't know what brush this is called, but this is my Real Techniques brush. I'm just gonna dust away everything on my face. So all of my banana powder, I'm just gonna dust it away. Okay, so to bring some color back into my face, I'm going to take a little bit of bronzer and I'm just going to bronze up my areas that I contour. So to do that, I'm going to take my Bobbi Brown bronzing shade in the color Deep, and I'm just going to apply that all over where I put my contour. Then I'm going to take my NYX Pro palette and I'm going to use this shade. I'm going to take this darker shade here and really cut my contour. So I'm just going to poke it back here and just focusing on that area and just kind of dusting it out. You always want to brush it back into your hairline. Now if you're wearing your hair down and I kind of feel like you don't have to put too much product like on this side, since my hair is going to be down on this side. I'm not going to put like too much product on that side just because I feel like it's pointless and it's going to be covered. So just kind of focus more so over here in this area of your hair. I mean, put product here just in case, you know, it'll wind blow or something like that. But if you're not too worried about it, I would probably say you don't necessarily have to put too much product there. And I'm taking whatever's left on my brush and just kind of redefining that contour in my nose just to make it pop a little bit more. And like I said, I like more of a natural contour on my nose, so I don't put too much product there. So one last step, what I love to do is make sure everything is nice and blended on my face. So I just take my big fluffy brush with no product on here and just kind of dust over my face. And by doing this, you're taking away like all the harsh lines on the face, and if you forgot to blend anything, it's getting blended now. So this step is very important. Now I'm going to take my favorite highlighter. This is my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Perfect Topping, and this is my favorite part in highlighting and contour because I love to glow. Now if you are more of an oily skin type like I am, just place your highlighter like on the top of your cheekbone. So right here, look at that. Isn't it like so pretty? Ah, I love it. Then I just do a little bit on my nose. I'm gonna set with some setting spray. It's just my LA Girl Pro setting spray. I'm just gonna set the makeup, keep it in place. Look at that glow, yes. And I'm just gonna add some mascara to my bottom lashes because I'm looking a little bit ugh.